Hi, welcome back to Machete. My name is Alvin, and happy weekend. This episode is most likely going to come out around National Day for Singapore. So, for those of you who are watching, Wayne and I are both Singaporeans. Happy National Day, Singapore. Happy 50th birthday. Great country. I'll be in Hong Kong when this video comes out, so I'm going to miss my time in Singapore terribly.
Yeah.
So, happy National Day, guys. Woo! Yeah.
All right.
Woo! Represent. Cool. So we've invited Wayne here again today. Wayne, thank you for coming on the show.
Well, thank you for coming to my place.
No, happy to do this. So I guess we built a sort of a rapport right now, and we sort of have a good sense of what we're going to do. So today, suppose money is no object. Suppose we're borderline billionaires, and we have 0 watches to start with, and now we're like, okay, we limit ourselves to just 6 watches. The difficulty in this challenge is you can really only pick 6 and you're stuck with them, right? You have nothing else to start with. There's no swatch from your kindergarten days to speak of. So very, very strict on this. And then you guys get to decide. Feel free to comment in the section below, in the comment section below. Does Wayne have a better 6-watch collection, or do I have a better 6-watch collection? And the reason why we stuck at 6 is because we're both NBA fans.
Yes.
So with NBA fans, you talk about your first team of 5 and a 6-man, like a bench player. So, you have to think about it from that standpoint. You have to have a not just, 6 of the same watch. It has to be balanced and, has to be a sort of an all-rounder, if you will, to cover most of the bases as much as you can. So are you ready for this, Wayne?
Yes, let's go.
You sure? You're going up against me, man. Come on.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm the underdog here. I don't have the pressure.
Oh, damn. Damn. Flipping the tables. Okay, so since you're a guest, why don't you go first with your first watch?
Okay. To start off, I just go big as the first for the opening shot.
Of course.
And,
otherwise, we'll have to go home. But we're home, so
go big or go home.
but we're
I'm
home. So
already.
we're both home. Yeah. Same.
Yes. Anyways, the first one that I have for you is the JJ Lecoultre Reverso Hybris Mechanica Caliber 185. Now, this is a crazy hyper watch from JLC.
All right.
I forgot the exact numbers, but probably thousands of parts, well, at least hundreds of parts.
Yeah.
The first 4-phase watch in the world, instead of the usual 2 with JLC. And obviously, it has all of your complications. I think it has 11 in total. We have the tourbillon. We have obviously many other things. And we have also a minute repeater in this watch as well, along with charts of the stars and the moon and the sun and the galaxies and so on and so forth.
Yeah, and the picture of my toilet bowl and
Yes,
It's just
yes. I
amazing.
mean, come on. This is the reason I put this in there is that this is probably the only hyper watch I
Okay.
have
Okay.
in this list, and it makes me feel like, who would wear this? I think about if Elon Musk was in like a
Gala dinner.
yeah, well, if Elon Musk was at an Art Deco theme party in the 1920s with a steampunk twist to it, this is what that person would wear. If the richest person in the world was around at that time, this is what they would wear.
Yeah, Art Deco. I think you're a fan of Art Deco from what I can tell.
Oh,
so,
yes.
So yeah, definitely makes sense. So you know what? I would encourage some smack talking because it's you versus me. So definitely don't you should don't pull any punches. Just go for it, man. I'm all good. So this is a very nice watch. I saw the pictures of it yesterday. Very impressive. Only problem is dress watch. Do you want to be 15 millimeters thick? I don't know about that. So
Yeah, this is less of a dress watch and more like like an Art Deco steampunk machine
okay.
that you wear on your wrist. So
Okay.
that's kind of how I think about it.
Okay, if you say so. I don't know. Okay, my first watch. Let me go sort of opposite. The opposite, but by no means it doesn't measure up. Okay, the first watch I'm going for is, so again, statement pieces. Yeah, the only 6 watches you will ever have. I'm going for the AP RD2, the ultra thin perpetual calendar by AP. Lovely watch. RD2, I suppose, is research and development too. That's what it means. Number 2. Obviously they've released it. Obviously, after the RD2 was released, they came out with future versions where it's a very nice sort of gradient blue dial. But if it's the only AP I'm going to have, it's going to be a Royal Oak RD2 with the tapestry dial that we are also familiar with from the Jumbo, the original Royal Oak in the 1970s. and ultra thin perpetual calendar. I can't remember the exact, but I think it's in the 9 millimeter range in terms of thickness, 41 mm, so slightly larger. But come on, it's a perpetual calendar. Come on, and not only that, if you know AP, you know the heritage of AP, you know their perpetual calendars, how they have done so well on the perpetual calendars past multiple decades. I wouldn't touch AP's chronograph with a 10-inch pole, but with a perpetual calendar, ultra thin royal, I think I cover a few bases here. I cover the classic AP, like that we know and love, the Holy Trinity. That's why it's AP, and especially in the perpetual calendars. I think you have something similar as well. And then Royal Oak, and then RD2 combines the first half of last century, and then I guess you could say mid-century-ish from the 70s of Royal Oak, plus what AP is trying to do with their research and development for the last 10 years. So I cover literally 100 years of AP here. So you can't beat that. You can't beat that. If you're talking AP, this is the watch. So
I wouldn't disagree. I mean, this is a representation of where AP has come.
okay.
With the Royal Oak. Although personally, not the biggest fan. You wouldn't see any Royal Oaks on my list. That shape, again, I think it's overrated if you ask me. Kind of out there. Everyone has it, and unfortunately, they have made some pretty terrible missteps with certain iterations of the Royal Oak, and I'm sure you would agree. Yeah, no, I like it. I'm not slamming it, but Royal Oak really is kind of predictable.
Again, I'm talking about must-haves. So
that's fine. No, so I think I've got a arguably better one, a better AP over here, and this is harking back to the good old days, before when the only watch they sold was the Royal Oak. We've got the Quantium Perpetual 5548 perpetual calendar in yellow gold with the ivory dial. This is from the 1970s. This was I've kind of read a bit into the story of this one. This was one of the things they turned to try to save themselves from the quartz crisis, which was happening in the 1970s. And this was using a JLC movement, if I'm not wrong.
Right.
And it's this beautiful, vintage classic form factor. I think it's 38 millimeters. I think it was the thinnest perpetual calendar in the world at that point in time.
Yep.
Highly innovative. This beautiful classic design. And I think this is the representation of a perpetual calendar from that point of time.
I agree. In fact, this very watch, we talked about this, right? I think in my early watch collecting days, when this watch was a mere $10,000 I saw one and I refused to pay for it. I was trying to lowball the guy at like $7,000, $8,000. I just couldn't bring myself to pay 10. Missed out on it. I think now it's doubled in price easily, and I look like a fool. Yeah, there you go.
This is one that's hard to hate, I think.
Yeah, it's hard to hate. But then again, as smack talking goes, I have to smack talk that. So one point he mentioned, AP tried to save themselves in the 70s from the quartz crisis. We all know what saved AP from the quartz crisis, the Royal Oaks. So there you go. I guess we know who won that one. Okay,
right.
Okay, second watch for me. Again, statement pieces, must-haves. Let me go light on you. Let me go easy on you for this one. I would go for, since you went for a gold watch, I'm going to go for a Sock Tray by Cartier from the 1970s. I don't remember the reference numbers for the life of me, but I'll put a picture here. You can go Google it yourself. 1970s yellow gold Sock Tray. Very respectable 34 mm, I think 27 mm dimensions-wise. Yellow gold chain, sort of a bit similar to a Beads of Rice bracelet, but not really. And I believe the one that I saw has a Paris dial, offered from the Paris boutique, a Sock Tray. I think goes without saying, Sock Tray. For those of you who looked at Cartiers, who have been looking at Cartiers for many years, signature piece. Other than the crash, which is almost impossible to get, the London crash. The Sock Tray is the watch to get especially for men or women, but especially for men. Just so lovely. You just look at the curve, the way that the case curves. it's like a Tank American on steroids. And I'm telling you, these are so difficult to get these days. The neo vintage ones, the vintage ones. And if I want a perfect dress watch, as a man with taste who is distinguished, full suit, or in a black tie event, that is my go-to. Time only, simple, straightforward. Whew, I don't know how you can beat that. Unless it's with another sock tray. There's no beating that. So there you go. Yeah.
It feels a bit like kind of gold chains for a rapper,
Oh.
reference to the previous episode. Rappers like their gold chains. This feels like wearing a gold chain on your wrist. No, but still, there's a bit too much gold for me. But I do agree that Cartier they are heavily underrated. They are very slept on in terms of what they can produce. And their watch is easily wearable for both men and women.
Agree. And the point about gold chain, come on, Cartier is a jewelry brand. But then again, with 100+ years of watchmaking history, so you can't go wrong there. Back to you.
Right, I like that. Speaking of kind of time-only watches, I have another one here, going back to kind of my 1920s vintage obsession. A Vacheron Constantin Historiques American 1921 with the rose gold with the ivory dial. That is a beautiful watch. I like what it represents, made for the American market when the automobile was starting to pick up. It was designed to be easy to read with your hands on the steering wheel. And I do like a bit of history with my watches, and I think this is a great representation of history of its time, with the form that has not changed that much over 100 years.
I agree. This one, as much as I like to smack talk it, I can't. Lovely watch, 45-degree angle, perfect way for you to read a watch. It's just perfect every way. Simple, understated. But if you know, you know. This is amazing. I contemplated getting one myself. But I just couldn't pull the trigger for like, what, $40,000. I just couldn't.
It is a bit much in terms of how much it costs, but this is an exercise where we don't have a limit.
Exactly. My only small diss would be, we talked about assholes with watches episode. So one asshole I know who is in Taiwan, this Sunny Wang guy for Empire's watch, like, you're watching this, screw you. He bought this watch. He's a very strong advocate for this watch. So I guess that's the only thing he did right, which is really just getting this watch. So other than that, everything else, just a flexer, very distasteful flexer in my opinion. I think we fall into that trap of flexing on watches too much, and he's some title. But anyway, let's move on to my next watch. Unless are you not done? You're done?
No, I'm good.
Okay,
we don't have to say much about that one.
Okay, simple. Again, another statement piece that I will definitely have in my 6-watch collection, my third piece, easy choice. Platinum Daytona, 116508, I believe the reference is. But it's not your simple Platona. We don't go for simple. We go for Eastern Arabic numerals, Platinum Daytona. Come on. Ever since I started looking at watches, the last 4 or 5 years especially, I have been pretty darn obsessed with Eastern Arabic numerals. Because you have Bulgarian numerals, you have your normal numerals, whatever, But Eastern Arabic numerals, I love, and usually they're so well done, because it's so difficult to do. It's not easy to do, and that one for me is the bomb. If I must get a Rolex Daytona, so this is the one to get. Full platinum, icy blue dial, Eastern Arabic numerals. But I'll go easy on you, Wayne. I'll go for just this ever so dark brown ceramic bezel. Keep it simple. Obviously, there's a diamond bezel I can go for, but I'm not that. I'm not all that. When you want Rolex, you just want the classic Daytona, and that's it for me. That to me, I'd be happy with that one Rolex in my collection. This is the freaking Rolex together.
Yeah, I think every collection needs an iconic Rolex, and a Daytona definitely falls into that category.
Yep.
So I have one coming up. My choice of Daytona, there are many out there, but this is mine. 116509 in the white gold with the blue dial Daytona. There are many Daytonas out there. It's kind of difficult to make up your mind about which one might be your favorite. But this one with the blue dial, the beautiful shade of blue, the red highlights, perfect mix of classy with the white gold, but also sporty. It's a bit of like those kind of a racing kind of sporty feel to it with those colors. and that would be my pick for Daytona.
Yeah, this one I have to say I also contemplated getting this one. I think it was featured on the John Mayer Hodeke episode. Midnight blue, slightly sunbursty, just nice. Just nice.
It's nice. It goes in
Yeah.
any
I
situation.
know you're a sucker for blue as well, so
I'm a sucker for blue.
yeah. I mean, so am I. But yeah, I guess another blue watch to get right. We both like blue watches, so I kind of skipped this as well. Speaking of another blue watch, I was trying to go back and forth. Like, should I be getting this or should I be getting the rose gold version, which is just released? I think half a year ago, but in I think early 22 or late 21. But you know what? I'm gonna go what my heart. I'm gonna go with what my heart tells me. I've been lusting after this watch since I first looked at watches, and I'm not gonna change. I'm not going to. That's how I'm going for the Patek Philippe Nautilus 5712, and not just any 5712, Tiffany dial, Tiffany and Co. on stamped on the dial. That one just hits out of the park for me. I mean, everyone goes after the 5711. They say, "Oh, it's such a clean dial." Da, 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 da. But 5712, the moment I set my eyes on that several years ago, the fact that the whole dial is asymmetrical, so also the random placements of all the complications, the power reserve, the moon phase, all of them place, and somehow it's still somewhat serious, but with a whimsical nature to it. Somehow that fits with my persona. I'm serious at work, but I tend to be a bit, a bit too jokey sometimes. So I think that fits with my personality perfectly, and somehow it makes a regular Nautilus, which is fine, perfect, just another notch higher. And I think thickness wise, it's only just a bit, just marginally thicker than a regular Nautilus. Unlike other Nautilus that someone else is gonna choose. So that one for me is the winner. I mean, come on. It's the watch. Okay.
Yeah, I cannot flame that. That's a very good choice, and I do think that most top 5, top 10 watch collections would have a Patek Philippe Nautilus in there. It is probably one of the most iconic watches in the world, in the watch collecting world, and everyone has a different take on what their favorite Nautilus or Nautili is. So I have one here myself as well. Again with the blue dial, as we're a sucker for the color. Nautilus Travel Time 59901A with the in steel. This is pretty recent, I think. Obviously, I've liked Nautiluses for a long time, as any watch person would. But I do like the idea of the travel time. It's a beautifully symmetrical watch, wonderfully balanced. I like the local and home time indicators. I think it's a fun little touch. It reminds me a bit of those old school basketball scoreboards with the home and away type of vibe going on. And I think that is a wonderful way of indicating two different time zones. And I'm a sucker for GMT or time zone watches. These are, I think, the most useful complication to have, given we're on the road most of the time. And yeah, I think this, out of all of the Nautiluses as of now, this is my favorite one.
Yeah, agree. I love a GMT or travel time complication as well, but unfortunately, it just didn't have space in my collection for that. So this is a good choice, I have to say, Wayne. Good choice. A bit chunky for my liking, but good choice. Like really good choice. Not sure about the chronograph though, but anyway, not sure you need more than one chronograph after the Daytona. To be honest, like the chronograph.
The chronograph.
Yeah, it's the chronograph watch to get. Next watch on my list. Well, it's starting to get very punchy here. It would be like the dress watch to have, but it's not really a dress watch. It would be the Erlanger Unzune Zeitwerk, as we all know, with a minute repeater, striking time minute repeater. To me, I've always loved Lange. I remember 2 years ago I had a chance to enter the boutique at Ion Orchard in Singapore, and it was so nice. The communications manager and the branch manager was so nice to go through watches with me and let me take a video. So I always loved Lange. Amazing people, very independent, so underrated. I think to me their watches are on Patek Philippe's level, German watchmaking, and the Zeitwerk is the watch for Erlanger Unzune for me. Digital analog time, so like a scoreboard, if you will, basketball. So like a scoreboard. So jump hour, because it's a digital analog time. The hour jumps, the minute jumps, and power reserve. Amazing, and not to mention minute repeater. Minute repeater there is just it's so symmetrical. Someone just adds to the whole sort of, I don't know what, I guess you could say it's a bit steampunkish, if you will. and the fact that it's all sharp and pointy, just lovely. And this is just the dial. Turn around, look at the case back. Super well finished, super amazing. So this watch is a decimal minute repeater, which means to say that whatever you see on the time, or on the numbers that you see on the dial, which represents the time, they will strike accordingly. Like there's no like 15 minute interval bullshit. I know it's just there and there. I mean, watch nerds go crazy for this shit, right? In white, in platinum, right? And the dial is made of silver, and this watch costs a cool $500,000 US, which I, in a world where I'm a mega wealth borderline billionaire, this is nothing. 30-piece limited edition, such an amazing watch. I might drop. That's all I need to say.
I mean, yes, I do agree. That's one of the most unique pieces from Alain Gonzalez. With in a way, it's almost like a perverse G-Shock with the digital time indicator.
Yep.
But I think that's what makes it cool. You have, a digital type of readout, and I think the combination with the minute repeater in this format is the most interesting in terms of what it represents, the history behind the Z-Work, why it was made. And what it was inspired by. So definitely a very cool choice.
Yeah, off to you.
All right. Well, no collection will be complete without a Lange. So here's mine. We have the Lange 1 Tourbillon Perpetual Calendar 720 038 FE in white gold with the gray dial. For me, the Lange 1, the dial, the asymmetrical dial, with like the different, it's funky. Right, like you have something which looks serious at a glance, a very serious dress watch, and you look closer, you have the big date, this kind of wacky. You've got like the off-center dials, little other power reserve indicators, day indicators. This one has a rotating disc with the month. All of these makes it a very fun kind of fun thing to look at. There's many things that you will not get bored with when you look at the dial.
As rappers would say, a twerb. I didn't know where we go twerb on me.
When money's no object, you gotta get a tourbillon in your collection.
I know. To me, Lange 1 with moon phase. I mean, you had me there. You never mind the turb. Lange 1 with moon phase, to me, that's a win. I mean, something that I could potentially aspire to in the next few years. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yeah, most Lange ones, you cannot go wrong with most Lange ones.
Yeah.
Or anything from Lange for that matter. But yeah, this is, I would say, probably one of the most out there ones in terms of the complications, in terms of what the functions and the complications that it has. But overall, it still looks relatively reserved at a glance, and but it's packing a big punch.
Right. Cool. That is an amazing choice. I'm nothing to say against that. Lange, I love Lange. I just can't. I'm not looking at my list. I know you're referring to yours. You see, this level of preparedness that we got. So I believe we're at 5 watches down. So we're at our final watch right now.
We're at the final one, yes.
So final watch, as we were a basketball team, I went for all different kinds of metals. I went for stainless steel. I went for platinum, a couple of platinums, yellow gold for my 5th one. So my final one, come on guys. Come on. So we'll go for, so the steel is heavy, gold, platinum, very heavy watches. Again, if we're going for an all-round team, this is the LeBron James with a jump shot. With a jump shot. Like peak LeBron James, but we've actually a jump shot. Maybe 2012, 2013 LeBron James, yeah. To me, this is it. And this is my 6th man, can you imagine? Of the team. I'm going for Richard Mille, 6702. The pink case, the pink reddish case with the white band. Well, you could go a couple color variations, but this is the one that really stuck with me for the last few years. Ungettable watch for me, at least at this point. I think retail price is what, $220,000 US.
Yeah, watch Shelly gets big enough, make it happen.
For that, you guys got to subscribe, right? And the reason this was a skeleton case, hand painted. The Chinese character Fire Hua is hand painted. Just an amazing one. I believe the case is made out of titanium, and this is the lightest watch, the lightest automatic Richard Mille in the entire collection at 32 grams. So come on. this is the LeBron James of the country. I just love this. I think it represents a sports from athletes in different countries, hence the many different colors. But this one is just the one that stood out to me. The sport, I can't remember, it's high jump or something, but anyway, just an amazing color, amazing. I tried it on a few weeks ago, thanks to my cousin who managed to have one. Just amazing, just solid. It just solidified my thought process in terms of why this is such an amazing watch. So light, so amazing, so versatile. That's the thing, super versatile. And I don't think if I'm wearing a black tie event with that watch, I'll be fine because Jay-Z's doing it, so I don't care. So
Yeah, you
I'm
look
good.
like you look like Jay-Z at an event. I mean, Richard Mille, polarizing watch, polarizing brand, that's for sure. But after hearing you speak so passionately about it, I cannot bring myself to shit all over it.
You should. I don't care.
Yeah, so I don't want to pour cold water on your passion for this watch. I don't want to put out the fire
Okay.
of the watch. But I stand pretty resolute on the other end of the spectrum when it
Yeah.
comes to what I think about a Richard Mille.
Okay.
You know, maybe that day, the day where I change my mind will come, but that day's not today.
Oh.
Yeah, I've gone for all 6 of them. So to summarize, I've got the JLC Reverso, the crazy one, Hybris Mechanica Caliber 185, the Audemars Piguet 5548 Perpetual Calendar, the Vacheron Constantin Historiques American 1921, Patek Philippe Nautilus Travel Time, the 5990, the Daytona 116509, and finally the longer one, Tourbillon Perpetual Calendar.
Just to summarize mine as well, this is a pretty good lineup. Pretty good, I say, really good. Mine is simple. I'm not going to list it in the same order. My first watch is the Zeitwerk with striking time, minute repeater. The Richard Mille 6702, lightest Richard Mille, automatic Richard Mille in its entire lineup. The Platinum Daytona with Eastern Arabic numerals. The 5712 Patek Philippe Nautilus in steel with Tiffany stamp, of course, Tiffany stamp. The Tank Cartier salt tray in yellow gold with yellow gold bracelet from the 70s. And my last one, what's my last one? I don't remember. Anyway.
Those are all too good.
Yeah.
There are too many
watches.
large of good watches.
Yeah, I know, right? I can't even remember all the gorgeous that I watched. But seriously, these guys, amazing. So you guys, please feel free to vote. You can type W or for Wayne in the comments or A for Alvin in the comments, whichever. Tell us who won. Tell us which you prefer. Okay, maybe not who won. Very subjective hobby. Let us know which one you prefer. Suppose money's no object. Suppose 6 watches and that's it. Let us know.
Yeah, but if you have any of these watches, I think we're all winners here.
Thank you all for tuning in today. Thank you, Wayne, for appearing on again and letting us film at your beautiful home. So thank you all. Don't forget to watch, to like, share, and subscribe. And then this has been Watch Journey. Alvin signing out. Take care, guys.